Okay, and just we are more sports arena and then Monday, yeah, my bet, and I saw you saying my day sports arena, bro. Today, MYBET.AFRICA, Upe baby, bet, I'll bet me a face game with MYBET.AFRICA. I'm no more out, I can see it. I'm no more Akabunos, I can see it. No man make sure as a quine biasuno, Sicano, Ube Phoebe. In the Jeff Club World Cup with a Yaman, maybe a match we are expected. So, be we not act here for when we did time be American. So MYBET.AFRICA am I bet builder and who he has over straight win and I will not drama team maybe a quack sell but bet me for bookings bet me for corners bet me for Yama Bibu and Amen also bet me a fiscal match the results send a back with the piano and found 1080 now register on MYBET.AFRICA now to use options win last 2 games and the last 3 games I can for Club World Cup now to fiscal 10 registration here very simple for www.mybet.africa who platform now top right corner who icon be a second degree umiaswa Africa na afidie top right corner obi hu icon bia circle ni green odon sa boss wa eno anu na afidie registration process ni very simple three pe phone number username and a password unya sa anyama miensa we a we okay so betimi join you send you verification code na afidie dey verify your account no ba be ken busua no bet builder option na time bia me di hu nkomo no ukọ MYBET.AFRICA ma kwan say one game ubetimi enya up to 10 options and 10 selections and a film inte nei say game no uji say game no team we win near dem ma wa betimi akọ bookings ubetimi abo corners ubetimi akọ for goals options bebre ho ubetimi akọ ebe na me no so no ubetimi enya osika senya ope emu dududu no wetimi enjoy aka bonus so 1500% emu edu companies na akani na wa ma wa 1000 MYBET so ma 1500 inte na me no so no unam kwan so abetimi afis ke mu edu nti ene register na nso be ka MYBET ebusuan ho senya bibia ebetimi akoyi ewo
right.
Yes, okay, nti se wo hwa yenim se imba afcon na ekoso nti ene so hwe screen so a eda so a obetimi ayeden obetimi scan QR code no na nso wetimi atimi atwa bet MYBET.AFRICA afcon no mo start here no enyama akoyi ema countries ni bi pant ene MYBET na obetimi atwa etimi afiska wo omo nso omo games e ekoso yi we bet builder options nso gusu wo ho nti na make bet builder and o baby a ni na ejina wo so the selection na pesa wo ene nyama pesa wo ye nti ene bet fit option and the last option am de be ma MYBET.AFRICA and last option am de be ma MYBET.AFRICA nti ename no so no we bet fit no onso betimi enya selection en hia se wo bet na se ahihye teams no MYBET for na penko for expect o ma hihye bet no ena enye se bia de o ma hye na no na obetwa wo odi o mo de be ma wo no obetimi eyi mu obetimi asa options na manya metimi akoyi nti ene bet fit ni ade ba ko a ekoyi ama nyama na timi ekoyi o MYBET.AFRICA nti ene use sa options we bet fit aka bonus ena also enyama bebra ebetimi aboa ama platform no wetimi ediscount ho kai so ochina on the 8th of July MYBET for se brana be shiom no mama education papa e wo bet ho company bi ho no ne de ene se twa bet na be no mundu and no fa osika be na MYBET so no omo se bra na be ti education papa on responsible gambling any investment I betimi aboa ma sika no responsible gambling who discount MYBET no udi scan ye den obi who this scan of scar one brain nya de ubun say or ye ne basabasa be nam we so nti no MYBET for say bra ochina 8th of July Tuesday be join ye na so be kan busuan ho betie udi scar den esa wo de investment plans be na MYBET wo mawo na responsible gambling ene te utwa beta enye se bi obi di scar mawo na scan e de amawo no oji ya so obi se me face scan to wo mani ntim di ko twa bet da bi bet no twa no responsibly senya usika ntimi nko eden enkokam ana ho ntimi nkyerɛw nti ene se o 10 cedi 100 cedi na ewo kapa udi twa wodi fine wendi a wato bo ase nkofo bi sika mfa mbedi nti ochina saa nyama we na MYBET ni embedi ho nkomo nti ochina be join show no about one na be join show MYBET for any investment planners any investment advisors be baba be boy say ba be run new season mu den esi ehun fa bet hu ni edi bet na den ye mfa nsika anye ena me no so no MYBET for episode ochina omuni embedi sa nkomo nti ochina be ka show ne ho na bibia intimi enkoyi ewo
right nti MYBET nkomo ana eguso a yedi electro no nti ochina bomodi ana join nti ene wo no so join our responsible gambling matters webena unim se amanfo bi wo ho no na kwasi ade sika yedi kotua school fees no di twa bet so enyansa se me na mekwa kokasa bia me use words bia anye de enye nti MYBET for yi omo ye expect awba be tufo se what I say yes chacha no yes also oto chacha no ba use wadwene ukura usika usika bia o chop money ye 50 cedis a use 10 cedis per for twa bet use 10 cedis per now the idea wo dey twa bet obi wo an school fees ne dan cost o kwa kodobo no or pay 2 us obo say team now wo de wani ato no so no wakodi red card first minute no wakodi red card Asensu obi ti red cards is here je o se Real Madrid be share na Asensu akodi red na fi o ma komo to atwom obu wansa fi na o the pressure to so the moment o medi wo no be wa so o pe scan back desperation be here the be set in bo no afa bibi ton eno na my bed for say though in as much as o mo djuma na o mo ye no mo amanfo twa bet no eno mo nyeska but o mo se da bi e wo say wo twa bet responsibly. What you say, tran responsibly than say would sika ye bet school fees wo danka wo bisika adwuma musika wo accountant for no na yes ankwase ade no mo dey twa aviator adwuma musika na dey twa aviator
Momo vendors for no.
Momo vendors dabi don't do that. Nya budget me say me wo budget me ko weekend say na ma pay 100 cedis 200 cedis me say no me misika sa 200 cedis no e share ha me 200 cedis no me pay out of 10 na me de 100 atoso na fe my year selection aka na me de 20 10 na me de atoso ti say 10 ne bo ma me a me di 1000 me nkonko fa me siga dabi me nyesa ankwase ade no nti mumwe nso nyansa nti mumwe join e o chana betimi ayeden QR yini na wo no ye den scan wo phone ye kasa scan bibia anya bibia your phone fa ko camera side no ye se wo twa picture na ade a wo de ato sa ade na wo no so ade na wo prekesen no na ade ato so wo de to so sa e be de be scan a wo be join na afi wo so wetie bi ne wo hu ekwan be fa so abeden we be debate no na be bet me akoye mumye hwe transfers no a whole lot of transfer news koso ni ade a mumye hwe mu na fe ye ndi hu komo.
Okay, listo meaning the transfer news na koso. I think with Noni Madueke issue no maybe di hu komo before mpo a surface say Arsenal enya na omo pe no na ade nti a that time me this issue ni ba report bi a me nya say Madueke na ohwe say senior Chelsea nyama keka ko ho no ebia onya opportunity na obekọ intene yenim say Arsenal fans ni nje say Arsenal players bi say Rodrigo mo ewo ho mo ya available o mo kwa akofa no ni Madueke ba say ohwe ade a Arsenal pese o mo ye next season a o mo hwe say kwan bia so no o mbenya player obetimi abo different positions ebia o mo to no as a left winger ba say ebia Saka ni ho na Saka pra na bibi obetimi occupy that same position amanya metimi akoye dia ma transfer we ababe de bebre ni se Chelsea enye na dwen se oton no ni Madueke Chelsea nye na dwen se oton no ni Madueke because players are why na dwen se this season ko beju omkwan mo makono no ni Madueke din ka ho ba senia we Arsenal fo bisa omne no ni Madueke camp din komo a enei oni Arsenal agree personal terms for 5 years a enei se Arsenal team ni Chelsea din komo na bibia ko yi a why ready so be free Chelsea akwa Arsenal. There's a player no Tottenham Academy and so no PSV and no ba Chelsea and then they all Arsenal to no landing clubs ni there we chin ho ye pan say na say bibia timi ko true a obetimi aba be Arsenal player Chelsea hwe say no ni Madueke omo hwe between 60 to 50 million say Arsenal betimi dis kanaba ba and then komo e cost ni say Arsenal value no ni Madueke at 40 into Chelsea ebetimi age 40 million na and a club to club conversation betimi akoso betimi aba peno but Chelsea enunsu award we 18 in 1 year Arsenal player ni Arsenal the contract FIFA to player ni so renew no ntimi nyet say Louis Kelly mo no mo man a longer contract but sisia no ono nso pese obisa Arsenal for ni say contract no ba be renew no o renew so ba be backup kopim say Saka be pransa no ba be nye biabo ana say omo man starting 11 no ba be ka team ne ho nti ne ama ne contract ne nso nsɛmsɛm no twe sign kakanka nti Chelsea hwɛ sɛ mo ania you contract ne ntimi ankɔ so a omo be ne Arsenal be di nkomo so okay mo face kanka wania wi ho embamba gi no ni Madueke a enne be ya ade be kɔ so as and now Chelsea ye hu sɛ edin bi te Mohamed Kudus any other players abemba asɛm a metimi de ama ya hwɛfo na ne sɛ Chelsea enye na dwen sɛ no ni Madueke kɔ a omebekwa akopɛ a right winger aba be replace in the derby because as at now the right wing position Chelsea books mu no ni Madueke din wo ho Estavio no nso beba enso din wo ho ansana Pedro Neto a the FIFA Club World Cup abon home day on nso din wo nti ene is no ni Madueke kwa position on be so betimi strengthen in the attacking phase eba be the left wing position inti no minim se virus the picture yi beto so amamia some we left wing positions are and our left wing players are ene Chelsea ehwe se kwan bia so no se no ni Madueke timi kwa on betimi akwa no enie inti player bit say elders of Juventus ohwe ne ball last season of ball ne homodin yi papa ma Juventus inti ene or a player no so Chelsea dim se kwan bia so bi on bekwa kofa no aba bebo that is the left wing position and Malik Fafana of Olympic Lyon ye na enim say Lyon here sky ye nti ene se Chelsea ball mu wo ha on be o madwin so mbetimi agya no ena in one area ene Chelsea ebisa ne ho ase se kwan bia so mbetimi de na ba be ka omotim no ho a nti ehwe players no compared to Enzo Maresca ball no player being a fit that particular role ni ye a obetimi aboa Chelsea team no from the left wing position in se ohwe Enzo Maresca ope ni wingers 1v1 so mbetimi adribble ye I think with the hono ohwe ye others are amount 93.6% ahead of Nwaneri any Malik Fafana ewo ho eba ni key passes into the box ehona Malik Fafana ewo higher way esen omo maka nyina ewo ho ena se eba no other component bi ti say ebia progressive ball and a crossing of the ball Malik Fafana ewo nenim ewo ho sen omo maka na ntenye mo say at the end of the transfer window say no ni Madueke etimi free Chelsea ebia Chelsea be call in for player friend Malik Fafana depending on Lyon ehie scanty ombehwe as a lower offer because ohwe ye others kwan bia so Juventus be na say 60 to 70
direct replacement to Noni Madueke.
Debi omohwe that is the right wing position because Chelsea left wing position because the right wing position on Estavio any player friend with Pedro Neto ebetimi occupy ho nti any between ye others any Malik Fafana and Chelsea be depending on say Arsenal be 1 year deal na Chelsea are okay to go in for ye name who said the next way Mohamed Kudus na Chelsea din ho komo ba kwan bia so why na doing say on Tottenham edin komo no nya Tottenham team no bebo I think it's a good move for player friend Mohamed Kudus o share the style of player Enzo Maresca bo say the wingers better che line I 1v1s enye we friend saying Mohamed Kudus ball ne sa na tie ono more obeba into the box aba be pegu and obe dribble straight into that center half area no betimi abon no more nti ene why not just obeko Tottenham I think it's a good deal a betimi nya Tottenham team no yes obetimi abon no more wo ha bibia ebetimi akoyi Tio Hernandez yenim say Ali lad atwene saa say nkomunya na nkompesom de ne ko FIFA Club World Cup ene ometimi I transfer na ma bibia akom ene 25 million Ali lad e de ato ama AC Milan omo nso etimi ayewe yenim say na omo hweso mbetimi na akoba me nim de delay deal no because na ono or holidays ana nkomo hwese FIFA Club World Cup no munya na ombetimi de nabo ene wetimi a join him the likes of Lodi and oni ombekwa cooperate that left back position ene ye behwe sene anyama betimi akoba lad we transfers ene nyama omo ya meaning to my ready say next season Saudi League no kwan bia so omutimi we maji ene omo hwe so ombetimi add another striker any another midfielder in their setup ombetimi abo momodi enim say the likes of Victor Osimhen the likes of Barella the likes of Bruno Fernandes mo bo mu na pon mu say ombetimi enyom aba ene nyame ntimi ankoye nti ombetimi abo momodi say a midfielder ombetimi de aka ho ene also a number 9 obetimi abo ama next season say Mitrovic ni ho senya FIFA Club World Cup omo chi oma that number 9 betimi abemu aba be bon homodi ene Barca ni Nico Williams yenim say bibia agiegu ene wa sign 10 years deal am Atletico Bilbao Barca for ayo madwen say Nico Williams nkomo ni de omo mben ho biom because 2 seasons ni omo hwe say Nico Williams beba na afide anya magiegu ene omo hwe le friend Luis Diaz of Liverpool se kwan bia so no Deco epe na asem yie papa na omo hwe so mbetimi na ba be ka omo team ne ho nti ene Luis Diaz se bibia timi ko yie na Liverpool beji scanner yenim se Liverpool price no that is 70 to 80 million nti ene o hwe ne salary e wo Liverpool enye problem or one of the least paid players e wo Liverpool nti o move ko team a friend Barcelona salary MBA problem but say problem ba be payment terms Liverpool ni Barcelona ebetimi akọ ene Liverpool ye nenim so ma hwere on player friend Jota nti kwan bia so they need to add 2 quality wingers and a winger and a striker ebetimi abo nti so betimi nya 80 million 70 million if you Luis Diaz so no so I ready so person kwa sisi a number imagine say they would go in for other players on ba fit that particular position obo Victor Gyökeres asem so na yen kom kakra ye nenim say Arsenal for me be kan say Victor Gyökeres na from the 2nd of July e kono team bi obetimi ewe mu na adwen say ni agent ni beba say bibia betimi akoyie no ene obetimi akọ why na adwen say ni salary na 2 million a year e was sporting no say nyama akọ na so otiso obetiso te no betimi move you see our club bi ati say Arsenal na eti munyan obebo nti ni Arsenal for speedy nyama yie pa so betimi enya no the service before the start of our pre-season e be course nti ene omo hwe say nyama betimi akoyie sporting for enso hwe payment plan Arsenal de beba as at now because see ano ni na ba begina payment plan Arsenal de beko any the sporting for bejatum because player to club relationship between Gyökeres and the sporting they are say nti ene so omo so betimi nye scale mu edu na omo so betimi ra market na pa another striker enyama betimi akoye o nti free ene ekopem next week there Arsenal betimi ewie Victor Gyökeres dey ono na afi de omo de attention about hu between Chelsea Madueke move no send you betimi push ama nyama etimi akoye Man United nso gusu ehwe mbemu I think in common akoso achedodo problem na ba begina payment plan so Brentford for your margin say kwan bia so no omo pe musika ni nyina omo mpe ene yetua we no ochina nti say why ready sell pay one of their quality players I say unsu team this can emu yedu beto say ni omo nso be call for other players omo nso betimi akonti transfer market ni de enyama akoso yenim say free ene kopim next week no players bit say no ni Madueke players bit say Victor Gyökeres players bit say maybe Mbemu Man United bit me Rema man bibia etimi akoye because you run next week more naka almost a month to the start of the Premier League clubs na so mutimi transfers now from the first day or 18th of August no on betimi full squad etimi dia ball so mbo.
Okay, yeah.
Listo, my main share for now. Yeah, someone after the long weekend. Yeah, saying about can prior to the weekend and never be bring on the course. So finally, some of the clubs, obviously Chelsea like this, the game against Palmeiras. After the game, Gittins was captured in the camera feed. No, say he's with the team. And at that time, Chelsea young official announcement. Also, Zubimendi reported by just Arsenal had wanted to announce him as earlier. And Sana a Trenchem Kessie to Diego Jota Nina Andre Silva a buyer. So they had to hold that announcement. They had to Jota no and Nina I think a very sad. But then my man started before I'm about transferring quickly on Thomas Muller. Answer finally, we won the last game for Bayern Munich, and Thomas Muller, one player I admired. A lot. And you see, one thing about football is at least what's the idea? Players are technically gifted. I am a Muslim. Tying that praise now. Imagine the numbers are. I mean, say virus beating the. Okay, the numbers are, and the number of trophies are. Thomas Muller. Winning on a career more, especially with Bayern Munich. Maybe if in play be and that skillful be or from the flanks, not a skillful be and people would have talked a lot more about that player. In recent times here now saying players are technically or may gifted as or no or Sergio Busquets. This kind of players, there are a lot of players but no Thomas Muller, he adds goals on you're fast, on you're skillful, but when
you're flashy,
yes, when you're flashy, that is aside that. But if he has the ball, a better head than so bit magic ball and he gets the job done. And they out of 756 games, Obama Bayern Munich, he scored 250 goals. He provided 223 assists. Incredible numbers for such a player like Thomas Muller. Now, my memory Jimmy Gittins announcement at Chelsea and Gittins announcement means a virus between the last picture na media to Namamia. Ginty's announcement makes it say Chelsea as many as 9 attackers and 10 attackers or more Chelsea. People who are with Chelsea now, Obebo Raheem Sterling, Obebo Pedro Neto, you talk of Liam Delapa, Oba Nanwa de Ye, you talk of Noni Madueke, Joao Felix, Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, Amando Broya, and Tariq George and Magui. And the last time Bekacho said there's been reports that Chelsea wants to go into the season with 8 to 9 attackers. That is the wingers, the number 10s, and the number 9s are almost team anymore. Now, Claire said Raheem Sterling will not be part of Enzo Maresca team. Even if he fails to get a deal out of the team, he will be training with under 21s. Also, Joao Felix is not also part of a team in the plans, and there's been a speculation say there might be a move for Joao Felix back to Benfica. Also, Amando Broya, Tariq George, and Magui, with development of these players and reporting say they want these players to go on loan to at least play 30 to 35, 40 first team appearance a year. A bit more develop. A bit set Tariq George like this. He has a very future with Chelsea, especially the entire embers of the season. He scored crucial goals for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think on a champion they should stay.
Yeah.
For me, I think they should
stay. With Tariq George, they want to send him alone. But for a champion, he will stay because a champion, especially in the contract extension, the boy didn't want to extend the contract because they believe that he's in a transition. Say, if also a champion, 30 to 40 appearance a year, a bit means one establishing. But then, coach, Amanaya will say because of how versatile a champion is, especially games our ball under Enzo Maresca or Chelsea, he's played from the left side, or ball as a defender and also as a right back. So with him, he will get minutes, especially in the FA Cups and some of the games. Some of the players, he will enter. But Tariq George, with the inclusion of Gatins, and if probably Chelsea is going to buy another winger, another right-footed winger, it means that Tariq George will go. But provided they will stay with these 8 attackers in your more in what list now, Magui, Amando Broya, they will sell him. So I think that Jamie Gatins but it means that fitting into the profile Chelsea. In fact, Gatins coming to Chelsea a win-win situation for both clubs. I think that this is a player joining a Dortmund free, and in a Dortmund for cash out 55 million in less than 2 years. Our brand, over 2 years. I think they're good business, and they Dortmund for. In fact, he is the 3rd England boy, and in Dortmund for a cash out big from Jadon Sancho from Manchester City. Scar Omuchia for Branton, and they sold him over 80 million pounds. And for Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. And no Sanso for Jimmy Gatins from Man City on a free transfer. And in the space of over 2 years, they've been able to sell the boy. So A+ for Dortmund. But for Chelsea, they've gotten their man. I mean, this is a player, especially in the Bundesliga, or attempted dribbles more than Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Doku, Obisa Vinicius Junior. This is a player, and would need a number of dribbles or attempts. And in fact, if you are playing against low block, mid blocks, or the ball commander, when he pays and he take on ability, you rest assured say a ban 1v1 situations are obey me a break those lines. It's me a creative chance amount. So I mean, we're checking the numbers and that he's improving this season. 14 goals for Dortmund last season. In the Champions League, he scored crucial goals, especially at the Stadio Santiago Bernabeu. Also in the league, he scored crucial goals against Bayern Munich. So he's a player that when all about Chelsea and a Chelsea team, so many can catch us. When Americans for the bubble, they want Chelsea to be a selling club, but also a big club. We made amount of 50 million, 3 years time. If they are able to sell you at 60 million, a year profit. Because only 50 million and 10 million a year profit. So with how they are running the club, he's also a player that Chelsea will also try to improve as well. And over big team, there's a lot of things a bit so etimi akoye at the Amana now. As now for announce Zubimendi. And the last time, like I said, generally Zubimendi buying as a direct replacement to Abrantani Eddie Thomas Tepate. And medical Zubimendi as them say, remember the Mihun is a one of the teams are and now players are if a team wants to start from the back. Now Opobia will be that cog between the defenders and the other two midfielders are on Anima. He's very key. There's a reason why since Rodrigo and now Rodri Eprai or almost a year, the Spain national team, Zubimendi has been that direct replacement for Ayer Rodri. He's a very fine player, but the difference between Ono and Thomas Tepate is apart from say Thomas Tepate, Ayer good in that passing range, being the registrar in the middle, or Babaji Bonifree, the goalkeeping department, the defense, to the attacking midfielders. No, Thomas Partey has also foul that defensive stability. I mean, in fact, with Thomas Partey, he has played as a right back for Arsenal before. When he gets to a time class, even as a centre back, he can play. So apart from that defensive stability and answer attributes, Thomas Partey be foul in terms of the passing range, organizing from the back, being the cog between the defenders and midfielders and even the attackers. No, Zubimendi can do that, and there's a reason why Arsenal also wants to buy Abrantani the award Brentford Norgard to also come inside because of Norgard. So that typical modern number 6 when we want to start from the back, he's also very good on the feet, and I think that Zubimendi, baby free but they like to start from the back. Risky passes, they will need somebody who always be Nechi FAC the other two midfielders and he's a player that a very good in terms of that passing range, and I think that Athletic for in a graph, especially where Obone passes score. There were some players they don't normally play the passes for the ball. I don't know wherever he is. So almost started from the back. It is a virus between the Zubimendi passing solar system and Athletic for a team that also it tells you the kind of player he's coming in. And they were checking the defenders that is Pacheco, Ogard, Zubeldia, any Abranta and the early Estonia, where defenders are mostly almost 30 or rest died. Into checking the passing volume now, it seems what passing on center backs a passing more and in fact with the right backs and the full backs and time but watch check here Lopez and Aramburu, Susage, Mendes, Gomez, Kubo, Oyazabal. And the Baranectia, players are always be whether a forward pass, whether a back pass, left side, always be when he has the ball, no team no receive one or team send passes across anywhere. So in this case, with Odegaard, with Declan Rice, with Obitise, Sakamo, and all these players, he can channel all those passes to the right, to the left, and also more forward passes. He's a player. Medical can say only as that transition between the defenders and the midfielders and also the attackers. But I share this pass solar system now. When the passes no more, either say a call forward and a call the attacking right or the attacking left side, and also beat me Abu Branton. He's a player from Real Sociedad that coming through and through. That is the academy, Zabi Alonso, and even Mikel Arteta, new coach for Arsenal, and so Ekokobo. So in fact, with the technique, the style of play, how Zubimendi will, bring a lot of quality to Arsenal team. Now Arsenal closing in on Noni Madueke. They want him as a versatile player. When they are losing Bukayo Saka, they can get in another player who's a 1v1 specialist, another player also beat him up from the left side of attacker. In fact, Arsenal are getting their man in Abranta and the Victor Goycores. But remember Goycores there. So, but I think that Zubimendi stepping in Arsenal team and the number of players that Arsenal wants to buy. Now, we'll check it Arsenal team now. They have a number of players. If they are able to secure Obitise Noni Madueke and Obitise Victor Goycores, for the 5 years, Arsenal bought 5 seasons, consecutive seasons, without winning a trophy. And I had hard and see, Obaka say Arsenal for season in, season out. They are either one of the best teams or top 3 teams in England for the past 5 seasons. on for Arsenal didn't count. In fact, especially in the UEFA Champions League last 2 seasons, they went to the quarterfinals. Last season they went to the semi-finals. And no team say Arsenal for apart from say Omolake a target man, a striker, or be banging that goals na mom. They also lack squad depth. And the idea season in be a home. Obeka last 2 seasons. When Mendy was it
Partey?
No, Partey prior.
When a can prior, a mu defender no.
No, Partey prior. And so omu say Partey prior. And sana the following season omu defender we France Nino. Saliba. Ebe pride. That was die emerson season. Saliba pride almost so lose game. So they've seen that Saliba is so much important. Then last season, Gabriel Magalhaes and Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
And even last season, when if Fabio Vieira na and they compete Mama Odegaard that competition. Imagine if they had another number 10. Because if they had a striker, now Odegaard ain't provide here. Kai Havertz can fill in those spaces. But then right now, if Odegaard is not providing the numbers for the 2 seasons ago, they don't have any player to set in. And if I was my Arsenal squad, no. Now Miriam about how Arsenal can possibly set up if the Omunyomo striker in a brand and the Victor Gyokeres. Now, Arsenal in terms of on starting with defenders, starting with defenders. Now, in terms of defense, I think that the most check your squad in that 3 departments. Defenders, 4 departments in terms of goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and attackers. Now, I think that in defense, no, as a very good kakra. I think there's one player you like him so much, Valencia defender, no, Mosquera.
Yeah, Mosquera. I'm gonna try some message.
Yes,
even if they don't sign him, per what?
Yeah.
Kyo. After. I think they one started in term. As one settle in
or no
early.
Signing no all but the intensity of the Premier League one
adapt
me I drop Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yeah.
But you see all your defenders now and clear say they are going into the season with William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. These are the 2 center backs. Yeah. And then they have Julian Timber who last season especially what him stay fit kakra. And if he stay fit, I mean Julian Timber a fine defender. Last season dem pass ubetim the boy fan. So Timber as the right back, and they have Lewis Kelly as the left back. Yeah. In fact, they have Ricardo Calafiore. Before Calafiore was Prano, he was playing as that left back. They know I inverted by fin. But since Nibedu baby no, Martin Lewis Kelly abebe bobo no abodro be say otimi offer a lot of things, and they likely say obi to say Alexander Zinchenko will leave the club. Now, even if Zinchenko a free club or right back. They have 2 people at the right back, Omo Ben White, Omo Julian Timber. In terms of defense, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, any Abranton, any Jacob Kiwo. If they are able to sign Mosquera, no bar, they will have another 2 good defenders. Even if Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes anywhere, they can also set in. In terms of left back, you can also mention Ricardo Calafiori, any Abranton, any Martin Lewis Kelly. But people shouldn't forget, say, Calafiori, no. I don't know, a left or a center back, but because of the versatility, he can also play as the left back or that position. Now, let's go to the midfielders. And they Partey Afriho, Jorginho so Afriho. Now, in terms of midfielders, Omo Declan Rice, Omo Abrantandi, Eddie Martin Zubimendi. And Claire said, going to the season, always asking about 2 pivotal midfield. Baku number 6, Baku that box to box midfield. I don't know a ball carrier. One will sit right in front of the midfield. And they partner in the now they have Martin Zubimendi who will be doing that job for them. Declan Rice if it will depend on how Arsenal be deploy more tactics, because Declan Rice, because of since Oba Arsenal more than that ball carrier and it's no one. Our West Ham, Adia now Rice, Edinya a lot of numbers and now adding the number of interceptions, any tackles or per game. But now it depends on how they can deploy him, because even Chelsea have,
of course, some be deploy, some will deploy when he will play as number 8.
That career.
Yes, he will play as number 8. Zubimendi will stay.
Obi to say Declan Rice like this. If he was in that Chelsea setup now, and can offer ball and you're carrying more, because Obi to say Enzo Maresca like this, he doesn't expect Obi to say Lavia and Caicedo when he is playing these 2 players together to be doing that ball carrying. No?
I think
Unlike
I
how
think they are looking for somebody who will do that.
Yes.
With Obi is Kudus signing. Of course, a profile no better.
Yes, and
Obi Obi dictative from deep.
yeah.
Now what shall no normal tense no or draw more.
Yeah.
Why? I think say with Kudus will bring Declan Rice ball carrying from.
Metal points, but I'm talking about two pivotal midfielders. But Kudus by Chelsea, I don't think that Chelsea will play him as one of. If Chelsea wants to play two pivotal midfielders, they will drop Enzo Mares, so Enzo Fernandez or Remo Lavi, Abu Kudus, and Ayobitise. But I'm talking about how Arsenal for set up. On say your teams or set up. It's not make Chelsea didn't say. Arsenal set up mostly Declan Rice when Omonji Bono Moka Pate, Eji Bono and Fama Odigada. Rice ni mune di Bono Erani.
So I think he will play the same role.
Or no ba Arsenal because of role normal born in into. And my son interception and son tackles na those days at West Ham no yen. Yeah, should have but I mean the role he's playing for Arsenal incredibly, I mean a fantastic role Obama Arsenal team. Now they have Martin Odegaard, they have Ethan Nwaneri. Oh, no, so beats my bass and number 10 and that's also from the flanks at that side. And also they have Mikel Merino, also that number 8 player. And they all of last season they played him more as that emergency number 9. And they are more Fabio Vera, who I think he hasn't lived up to expectation because last season he played just 11 games. And they all started a cramp in Drew 5. So I think that with Arsenal midfield, that is where maybe they have Zubimendi, they have Declan Rice. But now the question is, if Zubimendi is injured, now, right now, I'm saying, not if Nogard bar, it will fit in. But if Rice is injured, they also have Abranta and Mikel Merino. So in terms of that two pivotal midfielders, if they have Obitise Nogada, if Zubmendi is not there, they have Nogard to play that role. And if Declan Rice is not there, they have Mikel Merino, who's also a typical Spanish number 8, or also a ball carrier. Obetting about that role, and that role now may always be. And make us say Arsenal needs somebody to be challenging Martin Odegaard. In fact, he is the captain, he is the leader. But listo, Yanchaki teams are Omoji League, Omo midfielders, Omo number 10s. If you want to get to that level, any consistency, Kevin De Bruyne Adema, you have to get that from Martin Odegaard. If you're not getting that from Martin Odegaard, it means that the 2 seasons ago, numbers so poorly wasn't. I mean, it was a great numbers, but last season, which checking the numbers is not up there. In Takwa say, if
deceptive. If we use assist to judge players, it is always difficult because you see, there is one thing passing the ball, and there is another thing scoring. What I say. So, Osha Obi to say. Andre Santos, a first game for Chelsea. He didn't play anything. But just one boy or the man, a very, very intelligent player, he was able to shoot and he got assist. Meanwhile, there were wingers, attackers in the game who created a lot of chances and couldn't get assist. Let me know what I say. And me mostly na chances creation, he keep passes. What I say? You ain't Arsenal project. Adi omo lucky a strike or be consistent as she goes there momo. Let me know what I say. And now they've gotten a striker. You cannot take the quality of Martin Odegaard. Of course, they will need somebody in case Oniwa obey them obey replace. That is what they are doing now because they are looking at say Yene who said they are Noni Madueke can only play a line, but he has shown say he can also play as number 10. What I say, he can play as number 10. Into coming in, they will have a lot of options. That is why me, for instance, I have a problem with us selling our player because you cannot give. To me, you see Chelsea platform, young players opportunity, and when they seem to as a moving up in terms of numbers, because we have Madueke, what do you how many seasons? 3.
Yeah, in the third season of Chelsea.
This is in the third season. Yeah. I think you're born in the third season. First season.
No, we're born as on say on the first season, we're born half season or by January. So that was under Pochettino.
Okay.
And we're born a full season under Enzo Maresca.
Into Usha from there now. Usha the numbers. You can clearly see say increasing. He's increasing. You know what I say. So you give your platform for young players to come and when they are getting to their when your national team opportunity, even upon the onya de no when your national team opportunity, then you are shipping him to a team who are finishing even above you. This is my problem. Sanka, the name Nottingham Forest, West Ham, even Tottenham, I don't have problem. But giving him to Arsenal, I'm saying this. Look, only transfer is different from all the other transfers. Peter Cech was almost at the twilight of his career.
I said the last time we explained here.
Peter Cech was done.
All the players on
with Noni Madueke to transfer, there hasn't been any conversations at Chelsea person.
No, Chelsea is pushing him out.
Chelsea are not pushing him out.
The reason why Chelsea put here. Times a report said Chelsea needs to what? To raise additional 60 million.
But Chelsea will make that money from the FIFA club.
New players are they want to sign defender. They are looking at goalkeepers.
Yeah,
so and looking at what I hear Esteva or here put up on right. And since Noni Madueke buy every transfer be I won't say last summer he was almost gone. And a coach in the year more or tonight. So when a player will team, now every transfer window be as the report and so Chelsea is not ready to sell him. But if there is opportunity comes, you sell her. I'm sure say somebody like Enzo Maresca, Enzo Fernandez, a shot. Caicedo, a shot. Player who believes okay, going forward you need him. A shot. You don't even entertain a negotiation. I feel say Chelsea is pushing him out because you see, if Chelsea is not pushing him out. Why is he going for the same wage structure on your Chelsea?
No, but this is the conversation. There were rumors because okay, I said maybe I said there were rumors say Newcastle and Arsenal are looking at getting Noni Madueke. So maybe because Chelsea are looking at building something with these boys. But from reports about is saying Chelsea didn't have anything in mind. Noni Madueke people that they are looking at.
No, you see when he gets to Bilbao,
this is where the player. Let me explain you. This is where the player and Arsenal are negotiating personal terms, and there is an agreement. So meaning the player is willing to leave.
The reason why a player no Ebejiatum
say Oko
Ebejiatum say all J way because one Noni Madueke can show any sign say yen starting now with he hasn't shown that.
Yes.
On complaining about say or a squad player, he hasn't done that since he came. Apart from senior or Nancy among Fujan line, Obianti anything about even coach, I punishing several times. Of say ni training some on you coach not punishing a bibia. Yehu ewo Joao Felix. Yehu Nkuku. Said they showed clear say they were not happy. Say almost squad players. None of my looking shows are there. Then every now and then the reporter wunya. The reporter wunya before Obabe accepted the reporter has always been that Chelsea is not ready to sell. But when there is an offer, they will accept. That has been all the news. Yes, but a man for so de be a calm can say, Yenayam Pamo, but so be the offer bar, you better negotiate. The moment I'll better say, Obe say, not the most of me. They say them will be bar, mobile, and obey you. So the moment it happens like that, now say, Obi another project, but a chess where I am, I'm not appreciated. And two, the supporters are making it clear. To the extent that maybe there be where you are working important.
The player no. The main bosses. Chelsea.
There be meba.
Whatever the supporters feel there.
Meba. What medical amount? Nkunku should have been. Meba. Maka about. Say there is a report say Chelsea enye your margin some beton. But offers bar, they will listen to the offers. Yes. And no. Then it comes to the supporters. Because if report ba say Kupama, Chelsea offer bar, Chelsea be accepted. You will see what the supporters will say.
No.
There be no saying. You see what the supporters will say. So I'm saying, me, can say, we are pushing him out.
Nobody's pushing on him.
Yama environment, you know, so easy for him.
Yeah, but at least to be fair, you see, with this non-education, the last time Chelsea for my AR said, there are just 3 players for no untouchable Chelsea team. Moise Caicedo, Kupama, and Rich James. Yes. Apart from these 3 players,
everybody.
Wow, right off. Medical say we should know that non-education Chelsea bought him less than 35 million, and now if they want 60 million. For non-education, bargain. That is double your money.
It is a player, no. It is no one, and it's no.
And the situation whereby the player is also player, no, because right now Chelsea is not forcing the move. And you say, yeah, because if Chelsea was forcing the move, because Madueke come up and FIFA Club World Cup.
Yes.
But now player in Arsenal, I move, and the clear say Madueke is not going to be the starter for Chelsea.
He's not complaining.
Yes, he's not.
And he's not even going to start at Arsenal.
Now he's taking a smart move.
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
So
the reason why say Chelsea.
If Madueke stays at Chelsea next season, he will play more than 20 games for
Chelsea. One thing I can say, Chelsea and forcing it out.
No.
Meba nyabotre. Yate Caicedo for the big offer by Anasa. First thing Fabrizio Chelsea are making a clear say ama meba amo my den meba amo ehona o my den o my why has it constant or no one who say I'm not wanted here. The American what I say, yen can't show say yen pewo, but any reporter and even the behavior of the supporters, it shows say you are not even wanted here. It's the moment a club will be bad, or show part say okay, this is the way. When you come here, we will appreciate you. You are going to be key part of the squad. Any idea? Obviously, because see. Say ebia eyesika and I say a game timer. I'm sure some could be to say be a lesser. Now World Cup oba. Minimum say could be a commercial World Cup because World Cup oba. Arsenal are not done. They will still buy a right-footed winger. Now Okwako fighting for position and baby are we comfortable with. Left side. Saka and now Saka on so a fit over all matches. Or no compete. So for him to accept to go there, say Ateta and I the Amanatia say you are wanted here. Yeah. Me we are here. We've not made it clear. Say you are wanted here.
Oh, yeah, clear.
This is the thing.
Player, no, but only player in himself. Right now, also the first start to Pedro Neto.
And from day one, he hasn't been a starter.
No, he was a starter.
No,
he was a starter.
Madueke was a starter.
Edu baby. Madueke was
starting.
But he has never been.
No,
Oba from Chelsea from day one.
No, about Chelsea.
And he was not complaining.
And
it's not about the right now. No. Estavio is coming with the hype.
Yes, Chelsea is pushing him because of Estavio.
But when you say Chelsea is forcing the boy,
he's pushing it out.
Because the boy also ask now agree terms.
The reason why
right now reports Chelsea company asking have any negotiation.
The reason why a player ebe agree personal terms and you need to transfer. The only way to go about it as a buying club and then they say now the report say player way can be what you bet me your player way no meba the report say ubet me your player way no right if he club na owning
if we play and
there be
meba
there is a reason why obi anya na adwen say oba ko pama ho because Chelsea say na wo kan you are making it clear say Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, they are untouchables.
But club B,
Meba,
it's me agree personal terms.
Meba. Chelsea are making it clear. It's buying club in himself and go forward in your head. Yen Tom.
Yes.
Meba and go forward yen Tom. Adia met my say a club no na medicine kakesi. Aditina anasa for omanikane I said don't agree personal term. Oma attempt in the camp. There be the report yeah the report
related to every player.
Yeah the report no we over with this yeah the report any the analysis we say yeah from trusted sources any the analysis there is nowhere I actually say omoko we camp
no but
amount of money omo your margin so omo ye dey omo ye ti say Hilal for you. Omoni we agree. Club ne agree. Napoli agree say omo ye we. Omoni agree Osimhen. And Osimhen na dey ampene. So the omo top you know. Ade a omo ye ne say one naira di enti na Chelsea so omo pe one naira. Because man who say ne transfer sense there is an issue. What Otoba who said there is an opportunity.
Yes.
It's in this case what they will do is say ombe co-player no match us Charlie Arsenal here ready say what we are ready to give you.
No but as and now Chelsea
before
ni ade on bet media man 1 year.
There be and asema make yes me person me Chelsea didn't na Chelsea so mo pe no because they've sense opportunity. Transfer na opportunity. Now opportunity na say the sense the sense Noni Madueke can be bought.
There be
Chelsea anyone I must say 3 players when I say you untouchable.
Madueke issue
if that is the case
then am be a report where say obey free Chelsea it was based on say 1 Pedro Neto performance, 2 a star view back. So as a player no he's looking at a smart move.
A smart move na there. One courses are there. One Emma courses are there. Obi an courses club. Performance there. Is it not Onya better season than if the performance
Onya better season than Pedro Neto.
Onya better season said how? Even
in the right wing position, you know, Pedro Neto are performing high scene.
How?
As a player, but maybe Felice Madueke
season and he had a better way. Mistake
there are rumors going on say club nepel. Let the club come and face Chelsea. Say Chelsea na dream say me persist move fan bra. Then you agree, but the moment you agree personal terms, meaning you are now folding Chelsea in say they should allow you to move. And until na Maresca say o Maresca press conference no ka say enye Madueke no ka but player be of Philly so onye happy or hano
they can go
based on player no in some more Philly say or no expect say you should go and agree personal terms with Arsenal. Chelsea Everton the player Arsenal meaning say they don't see any value in the player. Say na last time Vincent boy Peter check mo even Kai Havertz they knew say the way on person building Kai Havertz was in part into no muja man ko no ni Madueke Maresca plan so but now no as a player no ono aye na dwen say me pese me ko enu nti na coach no now playing him has been a problem nti me feel say Chelsea nya na dwen so beton no ni Madueke Chelsea are not pushing on Madueke out ni na agina that agreement oye no nti enu nti no fans ni bebre feel say okay ukra no in quote no mo mpe wasem say oni Arsenal kwa agree personal terms are and dey ko and I feel say it was a bad move from the players camp.
Okay. What is the bad move?
To agree personal terms.
What is the bad move?
So I think that with Arsenal team, no, what they are doing, especially in the transfer market, I'm happy if they Omunya Noni Madueke a good backup to Bukayo Saka. Now reporting she say answer the last time I catch was say sporting for no date no me resume for training no. Omuka say Victor Gyokeres ebeba 1 week later because of national commitment. Even that Sweden game in crowd of one, but will be and then almost now postponing. And I clear said the boy wants to force the move and come to Arsenal. Arsenal scan up person even that 2 million money mankind. They will get their man. And you see, how will many time I will be explaining how Victor Gyokeres will fit in Arsenal game. But in fact, say at least to the Opta analyst, Victor Gyokeres goes especially watch inside the box out of 59 or 54 goals wa Shama sporting CP na emu 39 nina in the box or is our strikers and friend that box strikers no and with Arsenal sending the cross Madueke call Martinelli Odegaard mutimi please that passes now he will be the man obetime provided this goals no and so he's a player that I think so in fact Ucheke the player no he had a slow start at Coventry. Abra Ofi Brighton and Coventry, especially in the first season in Brighton. Or just three goals in 19 games with Coventry. The following season, he came to score 17 goals in 45 games. And then the final season now, almost torn, no. So 17 goals or share, and then almost turn 20 million to Sporting. And then if Sporting are selling him over 70 million euros, I think a bargain will share a lot of goals. So don't mind the championship and almost Beton Branton. He's a player that day in, day out, he's improving that. Oba Arsenal, with how Arsenal big is, the kind of quality players that will be surrounded by him, no, a bit me abwana mono so net me improve. So with this to beat him, the how I think that Arsenal will set up, no, these are how Arsenal is going to set up. David Raya in post. Now they have someone who will compete him, someone who's also capable of playing at the back. The bar is with someone like I say Eddie Amamia. Then Timber as the right back, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Lewis Kelly, and players are likely that these players are going to start. Now Ocheki, Odegaard, Subimendi, and Rice. These are the 3-man midfielder on best starting game. No, Edama Hassan, Saka, Victor Gokores, and Gabriel Martinelli. This is whereby because Gabriel, no, he is very good. Maybe also no with consistency and other things. If Arsenal so who check all these players they have with a few signings on some, you know, Lewis Kelly, a bit me, Ricardo Calafiori, Gabriel Magalhaes, Kiwo, Saliba, Mosquera, or even Calafiori, no, and Timber, White. In terms of Odegaard, or more Fabio Vieira, or in terms of Zubimendi, they will have Norgard. In terms of Declan Rice, you have Mikel Merino, and even in fact with Odegaard plays, no, you can still place Kahavertz at that place. Saka, if they're able to secure that, Madueke doing a good job, Madueke will be there. Victor Gokores, you can still play Gabriel Jesus, that's still your more player. You can still place Brandt and the other Kahavertz there. Gabriel Martinelli, we shouldn't forget they still have Leandro Trossard at the club, also a very fine player. So with the inclusions of Moyen, they are trying to replace some of the most important players, and also have players or may very good. Quickly on the transfers Italy now, I think that virus the able team the La Gazzetta dello Sport Croacata no and no paper or the out no virus betting there to some I must say Vlahovic C Almax and then they won't say Dumfries to share a chill baby almost say Inter Retro Dumfries. The last time money man can Dumfries as 7 or so, and I think that and they Dumfries as why she and I Inter for that's why she because one say Dumfries release clause no. She say by the close of 15th, we bet my trigger the clause no for 25 million. Now, if any club is ready to pay 25 million euros to trigger a Dumfries clause now, it means that obey me at to Brandt and today as somebody will say Inter Retro Dumfries, almost say Inter Dumfries risk. That is a idea on my chat on the Cavaris with one I can then Vlahovic see Max, no say Vlahovic EX2 Max. One say Allegri na de Vlahovic by Inter Milan, Juventus, yeah. And he's willing to get the boy and the Juventus for no Igor no likely say they want to get rid of Abranta and they Vlahovic because they are negotiating with Omani Man United ground that 25 million pounds no but they are cancel Omani Sancho be Sancho will move Colomwani. They are trying to sign Colomwani, and I think Juventus also wants to sign another striker. They also want to sign another striker. They didn't say escaping, but they also want to sign
that is Jonathan David,
yes, and they are still negotiating. So meet me Enya Obilse Osimhen and any other striker combination but then Vlahovic aka yes to Max Allegra and wako AC Milan and they Dumfries there no nyame admo ochina me ba menya time because any CCTV for room with Barcelona pull out of the race. They believe that Kunde born or born they don't need to right now they are even thinking of outgoings for them to able to register some of the new signings or mass signings. So with them and even Hector Fort Hansi Flick catch Decomo any directors and say he's a boy that or can plan so but if Hector Fort in your experience no gather he can also play to the highest level. So Man City and Omuni right back, and they are hoping say they can go and trigger that clause for a year Advantage Dumfries 15th July chama nobody can trigger that clause then Inter for the and they are right now Inter for a hope say they will get a replacement for Abranta and Abranta and Dumfries. And they okosha say also Donnarumma so aka some say Gigio Soto Akusa na I think say Donnarumma aka someone say Manono Yababe kasa say ade Donnarumma you know I say it was intentional and I know say non whole colpe stone mal and odi by English Donnarumma say I'm not to be blamed but I feel sorry. nti any headline on me no Gigio Soto Akusa nature say Jojo under accusation or more accusing say or shine pra abranta de Jamal Musiala. I think me Osha game now I was like I don't know Jamal Musiala already the defender and the goalkeeper they were all closer to the ball. So if Pope a penalty and you see I think that's my man no he is a goalkeeper and whose instance on man no 29 and they will keep a player be bosso and he shouldn't come because watch a ball no crana Asama Dinaruma can he's not to be blamed because ball no he was even more closer to the ball and even William Pachuda not all guided ball was even closer to the ball than Jamal Musala but the speed now Branton and they bano and getting to Senko bet me every ball no and baby keeper and Osha and 9 share keeper no and Dinaruma as well the will see here take giant ni wait in the toss wa and ama Branton breaky ni ankle so I think that it's quite unfortunate that West na no ya I can find Jojo Dinaruma and I think that Wakan he's not to be blamed but then I'll be feeling sorry so I hear video no crowd when Hakimi catch and say Akrani Namabuno. You saw how what's not say Nafi all of a sudden now also even after the game he was so sad. I think all the players on the field, both Bayern Munich and PSG players, they were sad that I'm such an exciting young player. In fact, this injury, a bit might taking almost 4 to 5 months. But the question is, if players been injured, we say Ayana is not about you who say player be never Buama. Ne kasa ni be a bit look sure storm by bobo but the thing is the strength and one day the courage Branton a bit my side bobo ni been on to 29 that will be a year the issue but I think that this if City are able to trigger Dumfries me I think that they say Pep Guardiola is okay with the move the player is okay obet me up the rule ni he's fit he's quick pace of the Premier League he can obet me up me there. If City for it to trigger that clause now, it will be a bargain. In fact, all those any age in the cost but his player he can play 3 to 4 years. I mean, I think that me I'm advising say if City can get a brand and they Dumfries for 25 million, it's going to be a bargain for them.
Okay, moment share your club World Cup now semi-finals no. Yeah. I think the teams are expected to qualify or one or qualify.
Apart from Fluminense. Against Al Hilal.
Oh, of course, no Besha Hilal. Okay. No Besha Hilal. Yeah, share games no mafi.
Okay, so we have FIFA Club World Cup now. Ya be di nkomo on the route clubs ni bi nya ya etimi abom. Ye name said there are rumors going in for Chelsea nya easier route into the semi-final. But so it was bad performance from some of the teams. Say Inter Milan and Manchester City. If you bomb they would have been in that same group and that same game against Chelsea any other. But we bought Enzo Maresca Basso. We have FIFA Club World Cup now. That game they lost against Flamengo. Chelsea fans need to be complaining about the lineup and the way they set up. But after that, there have been a lot of changes. We have a game against Palmeiras. Palmeiras is one quality team, and I think Chelsea that particular motivation if we their game against Flamengo. No, said these Brazilians no. You know, going to game, say, be watching the back, so best city back. And Ushe the way Maresca set it up, coming into the game, even the last 5 minutes, when you're not being put or city back, they were still pressuring with the likes of João Pedro and then with their friends and Kupama pressing and making sure some bit me winning ball in the final third. Palmeiras for we 18, and that is something as a coach. Game in, game out, to see Nyama Bibri, etimi, a ball home modin. Against Team FNO. Your friend is saying Fluminense, it will be a big game for Chelsea. Another Brazilian opponent, Thiago Silva, Beba Bishian, a former club that is Chelsea. We need for Club World Cup with Chelsea. And they so bet me we need with the Brazilian side. I think Nini Beji Yepan. So it will be a difficult game. But I heard the way at Chelsea prepare for games. I think it will be one game, it will be difficult. But Enzo Maresca getting the likes of Caicedo with James back, a big motivation, amano. Yenim say meaning say be as announced or more say yellow cards if they will cancel it so man cancel their meaning say player friend in Liverpool and also Liam Delap ever may say that semi-final game it will be very crucial for Chelsea but I said to be returning and 1 or 2 players and so ebi on be messy out of Fluminense team
on be messy out no Cowell and Delap.
Yes, our Chelsea side. And these are the 2 players who be messy out. We have Fluminense team. And I think there is 1 player who knows be messy out. Oshe the other side, Paris Saint-Germain against Bayern Munich, it was a good game for Paris Saint-Germain. Even though say no BN say they will meet a team and they would also come out to play. In Osha on the night, play a friend Hakimi, the whole fan with Kingsley Coman, pace and strength to Timmy Pini Hakimi more times. But still, to me, free home back up front to Timmy Sergey forward, a lot of chances. It was a good game, but I think Bayern Munich may see a lot of chances, especially in the first half. For more dominate Paris Saint-Germain. Emma Nobion said they would have gotten 2 or 3 goals in the first half for Mentimia, but Paris Saint-Germain came out well and Omutimi win this game. I think Real Madrid Dortmund was also one game. Nobien himself Real Madrid will surely win because Mbekan has said Dortmund ain't winning against Real Madrid. Mumbo or Germany. So if it's outside or Santiago Bernabéu, they find it very difficult to win against team, my friend. With Real Madrid, it was a good game. I think first half, there was a lot of respect for the Real Madrid setup and defensive errors. Defenders were slow and they were leggy into me and But in the second half, Omo imagine some maybe we could see say it took Thibaut Courtois one crucial save to not send the game to extra time. Real Madrid Real Madrid Paris Saint-Germain, Kylian Mbappe against the former side. Edu Sadana will come in and give more details onto it. But I think the FIFA Club World Cup my good games, good results are this semi-final games into the final. We'll see some amazing results a bit me about
Yeah, Listo, I think it was quite clear Chelsea was going to beat Palmeiras. I mean, it was a nice game. Chelsea won. Palmeiras and Chelsea a very tough time, both tactically, how I'm setting up, how Chelsea set up, another different approach how Chelsea set up, and that is why I like about Enzo Maresca, especially in the FIFA Club World Cup, was setting up the team according to how in fact a game Rhys James was about to start and I'm so picking some knock and then Santos best start here. He was very decent, controlling the tempo of the game, and Palmeiras for a good team. That goal Estavio share and was an incredible goal, and in fact the journey at Frankfurt and always be American Casa football am a very good story. A player Chelsea bought while making the names. Obisha Obone last game for Palmeiras against Chelsea. In the last goal for Palmeiras was against Chelsea, and also won the last man of the match. And the next team and so against Chelsea. How after the game Palmer, Suego, Mone Delapono, they were surrounded by the player. I'm very happy that he got a test against Chelsea, and he was also able to score. Now, Chelsea Fluminense Al Hilal was a game that tactically Fluminense they have very good players. In fact, they have the oldest goalkeeper player in the tournament, goalkeeper 44 years. They also have Thiago Silva, and how they managed to score it was a tactical brilliance in the Al Hilal. These two teams, semi-final, is going to be an incredible game. Another football story, but Thiago Silva also coming back to face Chelsea. Joao Pedro, after coming up from Fluminense team Europa, was signing a mega deal to Chelsea. He's coming to face in a boyhood club game. So I mean the storylines and everything, especially in the FIFA Club World Cup, exceptional. But then these two teams are going into the setup with two crucial players. Chelsea are missing Delap, their striker. Chelsea are going to miss Levico, one consistent player for them at the back, and also Ucheke Fluminense. So they are missing two key players. Freitas, who is the defender now, Onone Thiago Silva, about two two center pair, and also suspended. And he won't play, so it means that even if they are going for a 3-back system, 2-back system, always on a stagnant player. In fact, against Sundowns, Thiago Silva started, he was the main man at the defense, or you one of the best defenders after Thiago Silva. And they number 8 shirted Jesse, and they will team who promo winning Bobona. No check the ocean number 8, no check the ocean number 10, and mostly number 7, 11 for Martinelli. Last game against Al Hilal on the shade the winning goal. Emma Martinelli also a pivotal midfielder almost set up in the mood. They are also going to miss that player. The important thing is that Chelsea are going to have Caicedo back against a Brazilian team, and the tempo, the intensity these teams how Mbomo game no, he can also fit in. I think that is going to be an interesting game. Madrid PSG will be a game that will be interesting to watch. In fact, so check PSG game no against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, especially in the first half, they didn't give PSG a chance. They also started the game very well. They had players now PSG for respect almost so much they couldn't do it. But then with your PSG team now, they are a team and they can from slightest mistake that is where they be punish you. And then they with game now boy na after getting the red patch red card and they take it the lead. Was something that and then they Lucas Hernandez or Sansubenya red card no, they relied on Abranta and the Omome Fedes and Dembele brilliance and me the PKs are when Real Madrid against Dortmund. It was going to be a game that we knew is by Real Madrid Bishop. Once again, Gonzalo Garcia and Sanso go be man. Watch say that two pivotal two attacking players and they Alonso person on board the next season is something that boy and Alonso Sanso ball different I mean a different formation, always one boy a 3-back system, but then a 4-back system, and they Chouameni SCT deep in front of her the defenders. He'll have Valverde attacking the right channels. He have a Abranta and the other goalie also attacking the left channels, and then the number 10, which is the Bellingham, also running behind, and that two top between in fact Vinicius Junior, he has to get his also ultimately Arnold a building relationship, because Arnold bought several passes of Vinicius, so even if he didn't attempt to run, but always or running cock of and I think that Madrid by you won't say Madrid defensively they don't have a very good defensive. Dortmund for say a lot of chances later on they could have even scored the game. So Madrid against PSG is going to be an interesting game, but that game too you been your time area much now. But Pacho, who is going to miss the game, will be a huge blow for PSG in terms of that intensity and pace. Marquinhos always be he is that leader at the back. Then Pacho no pace and then other Nema or clear no, it will also help them. But in fact, if they are going to meet, it will be to say PSG, you will need people or more pace to stop Vinicius Junior and even Kylian Mbappe. That game is going to be a different game altogether. But then I think that Madrid is also not going to miss any huge players in that game. And also beat my boy. In fact, to check it, PSG, American say they are going to miss William Pacho and also Lucas Hernandez. So Eddie Red, but Madrid they also going to miss Dean Houston. Also the red card.
So on red card never affected final.
Yes.
So they are done with this.
They are done with the tournament. So Dean Houston too also miss that game. I think that is going to be a huge blow for Real Madrid. But in fact, maybe Asensio was suspended. Well, also saving the ban.
Game.
Yes, so Asensio and Rudiger will also play. I think that is going to be an interesting game. But Kakrebi say wait match President Cup.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think say I remember Gaka for Abaso, and for the past 3 seasons, we Democracy Cup in Ifrima. I've been watching the President's Cup and like I said, Gaka, the Sports Ministry, NSA, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, because Enra, despite the fact that if I'm not a sports journalist, and maybe I'm a game, then maybe I went there because game no. A lot of people came because of the entertainment stars on by. Some of them people move follow politics. So not President John Dramani Mahama, so Mahama. So a lot of people came because of, diverse reasons, not because of Kotoko and House of Folk. But then, anytime you preaches football, entertainment, and other stuffs are correlated. So if you're going to have ways and means, you bet the entertainment, tourism, any other avenues. A bit promote a game. People pack up is also something that and I think that I think Sports Minister Becca said Shatawale funded the stage, everything for his performance. Government and FBB just to say a thank you to the president, and I think that that Shatawale factor. When I saw the flyer 2 days today, was they are going to fill the stadium because last 2 seasons President Kabiyombe will be an A free. Just that the VVIP and the VIP, because the president will be coming Obia and team called VIP, so just give up complimentary ticket to some people are free but not free for the VIP and the VVIP session, and also the media men will also get the accreditation. But aside that, I think that the organization, everything was on point, but Nipa Park is too much. And we've been seeing this even charity events, FIFA, all those Omar president, the ministers, regional ministers, Nemba, securities, and NSF4, GACA for it was too much. The fact that Moyo organized doesn't mean that all the organizing team has to be on the field. And no, as a man, with TV, no parking is why it be brave. Even if when you say only a lot of people, you cannot even fish some people out. Nipa be brain and parking so I think that they did very well. But then we check if FIFA tournament like this. A FIFA president and then the vice. Mama Kaina, Ubi and Ubi. But it doesn't mean so we a Gakani, we a NSA, so all the high profiles pay for more office. No, you all have to be on the field. And one parking so I be brave too much. And it's something that I think that they should work on. Mr. Ansa and then in Painful they did very well. So and now share parking as well. There were some section. Especially even baby na Shatwale Bowl stage. It's something that I think that young perform can in perform. So you say they didn't mount the stage on the pitch. And always but it should serve as something that if anybody, because stadium they didn't say young farmer. Even there's the Benabaus, the Tottenham stadiums and other stadiums where Bruchena they be can was they rent man for a year. It is also a way of generating revenue to clubs and run your more staffs. And NSA there no, I'm not saying say they cannot rent it for other entertainment shows like that, but then where on mobile stage on the tracks no, obo ha, ubit my 360 event, and then even where na stage no one. Initially when I entered the stadium, I was like, why is this space empty? And it was alleged say that place no, see top one, shaky.
Yeah, security, and you're fit for.
No, say shaky. Introma on the banners but later on my man for call down and that those people to enjoy the show. So I think that not mounting the stage on the pitch to we should protect the pitch always, because Ghana High currently the only pitch fit for international games at Accra Sports Stadium. And the regional minister of Ashanti and Nanope posted said they are going to do beyond support and I think that but top on it is something that I'm concerned. If top on shake we should get time, get stadium and then now Accra Sports Stadium proper renovation, because mama yen train and can say anytime before na say top on a shake into that bend and if we have to do it right, mama yen train Emma dachi be yeah stadium na can say oh Aquaco Pro be na can 2 years or 5 years or 10 years ago now we be saying. So it's something that I think that Mr. Yang Pofan Crane and the senior Mr. President was there, because if me a president why is the stadium full by this portion? And you because say shaky. I mean we should just put measures in place now and same from home. Because even if Bune be bob na renovate that stance they be bob na for we should do it. And then Konkofa a trenching question, but finally a lot of stars buy. In fact, yesterday I saw a lot of bloggers, some sports bloggers, they also came. That is how we can also beat me some be a film. They are managing game. Oko Champions League, they've been doing this halftime shows. This Super Bowl in the money. It's something that people are all the entertainment, all the other industries about to bring other people, because at least all and an American. If I say be a me will be a mere sports person. And they for the first time, because normal say schools. At the other schools by people from Kumasi, the Jama boys by. If me a football person, but then yesterday I made my way to the stadium, whether because me a Shatta fan, whether because maybe I'm a Mahama fan, Tiana, whether I wanted to go and see some celebrities and non-buyer. Any Kotoko has given me will be any a president cup. I would like to go and watch. Aside the officiating matters, that penalty issues and how intense. How both coaches and how I'm set up if me a football fan. But then yesterday I made my way to the Accra Sports Stadium and watched the game. Any other super clash they will play in Accra or Kumasi, I will find my way there and go and watch the game because of how happy I was. And Shatawale, I probably say he is a true entertainer. And he was really fans smoking other people in Abai. So I think that in over 5 years, this is one of the best President Cup. I mean, it was free and I mean it was fun.
Okay, yeah, we share games kakrana fi enko also no. I know yes, or Champions League games or Champions League returning to be na fi the bia bro. Me din the list to what Benedict and Vincent and yeah abrante a friend kojo virus any osu na hema edi bibia e de bro nyame adom o chene be sa ba ya kram